So good evening, everyone. Welcome to this information session. In this session, we want to just give you a brief look at what the Thrive Forward retreat is all about. This is a curated retreat experience for people ready to thrive in their next season. My name is Nawekulo, and I am the retreat coordinator for Thrive. My main role is to basically just make sure, facilitate that things run smoothly within the retreat. So I would like to now invite Coach Jackie to take us through the next couple of slides before Masiwasike takes over. Welcome,
Okay,
Coach Jackie.
thank you. Thank you, Nawekulo. If you could just move on to the next slide, which really is inviting you to think about why you should participate in this retreat. And in order to help you think about that question, I have actually 3 questions that I would like to invite you to consider. The first one is this: when was the last time you posed without feeling guilty? And then, when was the last time you thought deeply about where your life is heading? And finally, when was the last time someone invested in you rather than what you produce? I'm inviting you to consider these questions because we often schedule meetings, even holidays, children's activities, work commitments, but very few of us schedule time to reflect on our own lives. And so this retreat is really a space for you to reflect on your own life. On the next slide, which Coach Mercy is going to take us through, she will talk a little bit more about this.
Thank you, Coach Jackie. Thank you, Nawekulo. Life is really interesting, isn't it? Because when we host this retreat, we like to think about what the reality is vis-a-vis what our aspirations are really for ourselves, because this is about you as a person who's wanting to thrive. So the reality for pretty much all of us right now is that we are always very busy, and if you're successful, and success here really depends on the individual, the more successful you are, the busier you will be, the more responsibility you probably have on both a personal and a professional level. You have caring responsibilities. Either you are caring for your family, so children, a spouse, and sometimes you're also caring for aging parents-in-law, and extended family. You might be an elder sibling, and so you also have younger siblings to look out for. And then because of all this, you're seeking to be even more productive. So it can end up being a bit of a vicious cycle. And so what we want to invite people to think about is the reality with a new lens. You can be tired, even though you might not always allow yourself to say so. You're probably feeling stretched, which ends up with you reacting to things. There'll be moments where you might feel unsure about what's next, and ultimately one can find themselves living on autopilot. So the key thing here is to remind ourselves that thriving is not the absence of responsibility. Rather, it is learning to live intentionally within it. Next slide, please. You might be asking yourself, what does it really mean to thrive? Thriving is more than surviving. Surviving is when I get up and get on with it. But when I'm seeking to thrive, it means I am being very, very intentional about understanding my purpose. What is my purpose? How am I using my energy, my gifts, my talents, my knowledge, skills, and experience? How balanced am I approaching situations? How much balance is there in my life? I should be really holistic in the way I approach things. I shouldn't spend too much time on the professional side of things and not enough on the personal, nor vice versa. the things I'm doing, what do they mean to me? What do they mean to others? How meaningful would I say my life is? How healthy are the relationships that I have in my life? Are my friends and family and loved ones always having to just accept that I can make promises that I don't always end up keeping? How well do I feel about myself? Am I eating properly? Do I sleep enough? How well hydrated am I? What does my exercise schedule look like? And last but not least, what direction am I moving in? Well, hopefully I'm moving in a direction, and it's good to pause and ask myself, what direction am I headed in? I will invite all of us to pause very briefly and just think, what does thriving mean for each one of us as an individual? You might also be asking, why forward? Why have we chosen to curate a space in which we're going to thrive forward? Forward doesn't really mean we're going to do more, we're going to go faster, or we are seeking to become somebody else. Rather, it actually means we are choosing to live with more intention. What's my purpose, and how am I taking small intentional steps to get there? Making choices aligned with your values. With this, I need to be very, very clear. What are my values? What are the things that I aspire to live by, no matter what? And then once I'm aware of those, I need to be clear about what my next steps are going to be. I need to take those steps, and I need to make sure that they are meaningful. I will now invite Coach Jackie to take us through the next bit, please. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you, Coach Mercy. So the retreat is built on 4 pillars. The first pillar is pause. Stop, be quiet, slow down, and notice your life. That's what we are telling you. Put away everything, put away your responsibilities, organize your children, your family, take a day off from work, or whatever it is you need to do, so that you can just pause, stop what you're currently doing, and create an intentional space to notice your life. The second pillar is relax. So while we are going to do something and we're going to have some activities, the idea is to create a space in which you don't feel like you are working, but where you can relax. The venue is a very relaxing venue. It's a small hotel. There's not too many people. It's nice and green. There's a lot of open space around. And we are hoping that by being in this space, you will find the opportunity to restore your physical, emotional, and mental capacity. The third pillar is learn, because we cannot change without learning. And so Coach Mercy and I are going to share some content. We are going to share some tools. We are going to organize some activities. You are also going to share experiences. You're going to have conversations with other participants. And from all this, we hope that you will gain some insights and that you will pick some practical tools that also contribute to perhaps a broader or a fresher perspective. And the fourth pillar is moving forward. So we don't want you to come to the retreat and stay where you are, or maybe even retreat backwards. We are talking about helping you to move forward. That is translating whatever learnings, whatever reflections you will have gone through during the retreat into intentional action as you move forward. Coach Mercy mentioned, what direction are you moving in? And we are hoping that this will be forward direction. Let's go to the next slide, please, where I just talk a little bit about exactly what happens. So we have got 3 days. You arrive on a Friday evening. We begin our connection. I want you to imagine a situation where you have been so harassed, and then finally you have an opportunity to stop and just exhale. This is what Friday evening is all about. And the main activity of Friday evening will just be for you to relax and listen to an inspired catalyst speech from Coach Mercy. Saturday is the main day of the activity. Here there will be reflection, there will be learning, there will be some coaching. We are organizing some activities to support your wellness. And of course, there will be connection with everybody else. We will have a reflective workshop in the morning and then a creative activity in the afternoon, and finish off the day with some entertainment, some fun, an opportunity to dance and just let loose. Come Sunday morning, there's an optional outdoor activity for those who are interested, but it is also the opportunity to finalize our reflections and make some personal commitments. So that's what the 3 days looks like. Percy, please share this.
Thank you, Coach Jackie. So having given you a bit of an idea of what the pillars are and what the 3 days will look at, I want to just briefly give you a glimpse into the experience. There'll be guided reflections. Reflection is about pausing to think, where am I? How am I doing? How else might I want to do what I'm doing? There will be quiet thinking time. Today's world is so busy. We don't often pause to think, but the more we stop and think, the better the level of clarity we will all receive, and actually the better the quality of our lives would be. There will be opportunity to have small group discussions, because this retreat is about networking and allowing ourselves to enrich one another, because everybody is arriving full of potential with so many ideas, and we want this to be a space where people can learn and borrow from one another. There will be wellness experiences, because a healthy mind needs to exist within a healthy body, and we are very intentional about thinking about what are we going to eat, how well hydrated are we, and how much movement are we building into the retreat. There will be coaching conversations. We are qualified coaches, and every coach begins their journey from the premise that the coachee already has the answers. We only exist to hold a space for long enough for people to be able to dig deep and find their own answers, so that they can be resourceful when they're experiencing life. There'll be opportunity to journal, which is something you can then take away with you as a learned habit, or enhance the journaling you already do to make you even better at it. There'll be opportunities to plan as a person, where do I want to thrive more, because I might be thriving in some areas, but I just want to enhance the level of how well I'm thriving. And then last but not least, there'll be absolutely very many meaningful conversations. So it isn't anything about sitting through lectures. It is a space where we will be transforming one another together in a very safe way. Who's the retreat for? You might find yourself asking. Well, the retreat is for people who feel they have been constantly giving to others. Yeah, people who might want clarity, or who feel they need clarity. People who are asking themselves, what next? Because life has happened, because they've gone through a transition, or just because. Doesn't have to be any reason as to why anybody finds themselves asking what next. This retreat is also for people who are navigating change, whether it is self-imposed change or change that has happened incidentally. It is for people who want to have some intentional time away from their everyday hustle and bustle. And last but not least, it's for those people who would want to thrive rather than simply cope with what's going on in their lives.
Okay, so what will you live with? What will you live with? We believe that once you have spent those 2.5 days with us and with every other participant, you're going to live with some greater clarity. Whatever questions you might have been having, whatever plans you might have made, you will live with greater clarity. You will also live with some practical tools, things that you can actually put into action immediately. You will live with supportive relationships. You will have spent some time with people with whom you will have had meaningful conversations, and who then become part of a community that you can draw from, into the future. We believe that you will live with confidence about your next season because you will have had the time to interrogate where you are now, where you want to go. You will have gained some insights about what you may or may not want to do, and you will have a plan. But because you will have taken the opportunity to pause, you will also have renewed energy. It's that moment when you stop to refill your jug before you go serving other people. You will gain new perspectives from sharing with other people, and you will have a personal thrive forward plan. So these are some of the things that participants from the last retreat shared. A great and inspiring time. They felt that it was time that was very well spent. The theme was perfect. The theme last year was Thrive in Transition. The theme was perfect. The workload was adequate for the group. This suggests that, yes, there is some work to be done, but it was not too much work. And she also kindly complimented the facilitators. And the third person says, the retreat met her objectives while respecting personal space. So while it will be a group setting, we understand that people bring different things and people share different things, but we manage the space in such a way that people don't feel that their personal space is being encroached on. The facilitators, well, there is me and there is Coach Mercy. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about why I do this. I really do this because I know that sometimes we know we need to pause, but we just don't have the courage to. We don't have the courage to because we think it is a sign of weakness, or because we think it suggests that we are not committed, or maybe we just believe that there's too much for us to do, there's no time to pause. But everything that I've learned in my life so far has shown me that you really, really, really cannot pour from an empty cup. And you need to pause, even if just to refill your cup. But what we are saying here is you're not coming here to refill your cup to serve other people. We are saying you're coming to the retreat, first of all, to nurture and feed yourself before you can respond to other people's needs. So I really believe that without a pause, it is difficult to gain the clarity that you need to move forward. And sometimes it's difficult for you to create the pause for yourself. That's why we are here, helping you by curating a space where you can take that pause. Coach Mercy?
Thank you, Coach Jackie. I think in addition to what Coach Jackie has said, I would like to say that I enjoy facilitating this because I think it's a window into wellness. It's a window into fully coming to your own as a person, particularly being able to dig deep and remind yourself how joyful we were as children. When you think of how creative children are, they never need permission. They don't need much. They will make something out of anything or even nothing. They can be imaginative. Recently, I was listening to a podcast, and this teacher said one day they gave every child a piece of paper to draw something. And when they got to one little girl, they said, "What are you drawing?" And the child said, "I'm drawing God." And the teacher said, "But nobody knows what God looks like." And the child said, "Well, now they will know." And that really resonated with me as I'm getting ready to come and be one of the facilitators on this retreat. We shouldn't allow life to box us. And unfortunately, as adults, we are very good at doing that, putting in place meaningless rules which just limit our creativity and our ability to be fully alive. So I am looking forward to working with all of you to see how much more creative you can be and how many creative ideas that you have been sitting on or telling yourself you're too busy to explore, you will be able to bring back to life. Thank you.
So here are some of the retreat details. So the retreat will be running from the 16th to the 18th of October. And the venue is Hunter's Paradise Tutti in Bungoma. There are two different accommodation options that are available. There's the double or the single option. And within the cost of this retreat, it includes the meals, sessions, and materials, and the cost of the retreat is 54,500. So this is not inclusive of accommodation. We have some special offers available. So we have an early bird discount. There's a returning participant discount, which will apply to participants who were present during our previous retreat, and they're coming back. Then there's also bring a friend discount, which applies to everyone. So if you're able to bring a friend along, there's a discount that you will get. And mind you, it's possible to get all three at once. So if you're a returning participant and you pay early, you'll have the early bird discount, you'll have the returning participant discount. And then in addition to that, if you bring a friend, you'll also have the bring a friend discount. So the early bird discount is 10% off, and it applies up until 15th August 2025. So if you pay the full amount by
2026.
2026. Yeah, thank you. So if you pay the whole amount before 15th August, you will get the 10% early bird discount. And then if you're interested in coming for the retreat, we would like to have confirmation and payment by 15th September, just so that we're able to confirm everything with the hotel, make sure that we have all the necessary equipment and materials available for everyone who's showing up. So if you're interested in coming, please confirm and have finished payment by the 15th of September. So here are some frequently asked questions. The first question is whether or not you can come alone. Yes, you can come alone, but you can also come with someone, bring a friend discount. What if you're busy? You might be wondering, okay, should I come if I'm too busy? And actually, that's the best reason to come. And if you feel like you're not going through a crisis, honestly, you don't have to be going through a crisis to come to this retreat. This retreat is all about you. And intentional growth, it's not about waiting for that to be an emergency and then coming to the retreat. So all are welcome. Now that we're basically done with the presentation, we would like to invite any questions that you may have, or concerns or comments. Kindly feel free. This is your time.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. That is very insightful. I'm looking forward to it, and I think I'm looking forward to also discovering that I still have a lot more to fill up and pour out. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, so if there are no further questions now, that's okay. Please remember that you can always reach out and ask any questions that you might have even after this. Just to emphasize, on the previous slide you saw August 2025 and September 2025. It's actually a typo. It should be 2026. I just want to emphasize that it is all 2026. So I'm really inviting you that if something you've heard this evening has resonated with you, don't ignore it and give yourself permission to invest in your well-being. Thank you for participating this evening, and we really hope that we can meet in person in October in Bungoma to thrive forward. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye for now. See you there.